Ponytails. Read by Scribbler.
Ponyacci wanted me to find him. It's a funny old thing, this world, where some pony you only met twice in your whole life ask you to do something like that. I mean, yeah, the first time was just super. Getting to see him was unbelievably amazing, and talking with him was just the best. Even if he was sad and thinking about retiring, helping him just made me so unspeakably happy. I couldn't have asked for anything better. Then the second time happened, and that was even more amazing than the first. He treated me like a long-lost friend, and we had a blast the way long-lost friends do, full of fun and energy and just life. Still, you don't expect a pony you were never really friends with to ask you to do something like that. You don't expect a pony so full of life and energy and fun to do what he did. Most ponies wouldn't believe it, but I get Def. Sure, after the first time I experienced it, I was devastated, all flat mane and no smiling for what felt like forever. Granny Pie passed so soon after I have gotten my cutie mark, after I have finally learned how to smile and have fun the way she always wanted me to. It felt like all the fun had been sucked out of my life all over again, and I couldn't find reason to keep smiling because she would never smile again. But then my older sister, who sees everything totally different from the way quiet ponies do, told me to think about what didn't matter. It was the best advice I have gotten in my entire life. I started out feeling like I was in a big hole under a big house that blocked out the sun. So I thought of all the times Granny had made me smile and all the fun things she taught me to do after I saw that rainbow. That made all the difference in the whole world. Even if Granny wasn't around anymore, I could smile again. I could have fun. I built a ladder out of my happy thoughts and climbed out of that hole. That day, I vowed death wouldn't get me down. There were some kinks to work out. Wake shouldn't be subdued parties, but I got it. Death is the full stop at the end of a marvelous story, and the only thing you can do when it happens is read the story again. So, I was all set for Winona, and Rarity's dad, and Cranky Doodle Donkey, and Granny Smith, and Mr. Cake, and my mom, and Twilight's mom, and Mayor, and... Gosh. Sometimes, it feels like I know more dead ponies than live ones. It's a lot of stories to have to remember sometimes. It just goes to show, you can blink and some pony story will have stopped, so you just gotta keep up with every pony while you can. But Ponyacci's story should have kept going. It had so many unwritten pages. He was older than any pony in the circus and still doing 2 shows a night. His ringmaster, he outlasted 2 of them, told me that there was something hiding behind his smile. Some kind of sadness no pony wanted to admit was there. I can't blame them. I think I've ignored it too if I've been near. All any pony ever wanted to see was the fun parts of Ponyacci's story. It's like we always say, Dear Princess Celestia, today I learned you can't skip the bad parts of the story. You can either get the whole caboodle or a big wet cold noodle. A noodle that curls around on itself and looks like a 0? That's what I'm getting at. No cheatsies, no takebacks, no calling dibs. Once you started that story, you stick it to the end. That's friendship. You can't skip the bad parts, but you can't end it too soon. I understand death, but I don't understand this. The story of life is so precious. Why would any pony want to cut it short? Even if he was hurting, there were still pages left to fill with fun. Weren't there? Maybe he didn't see it, but maybe all those blank pages to him were filled with the same hurty words over and over. Maybe he was in the big house clogged hole with nothing to build a ladder out of. I wish I could have been there. Could have seen him just one more time, alive and laughing and squirting water out of the flower. He brought so much meaning to my life. I can't even explain it. I don't think I'd be the pony I am today if it weren't for Ponyacci. Now all I can do is remember him through his story. After the inquet thingy and the possessions. I thought about it really hard. He did have a great collection of vintage pie tins and a whole generation of party cannons after all, but in the end, all that stuff had served its purpose. It needed Ponyacci to make it work right. I told them to make a museum in his honor. I hope they do it. All I kept was his final note. Thank you for one more smile. I kept it because I knew it was meant for me. I think none of us are getting any younger. Even if I do still have the same spring in my step as when I met my best friends all those years ago, I think I've got so many friends now that I can't spend as much time with them as I'd like. I think a few might even feel neglected. I think you can't expect every pony to continue their story without running into the bad parts every now and then, but I think as Ponyville's premier party planner, it is my duty to fill up those blank pages with as much happiness as I can. I can make all the bad parts of the story go away, but maybe I can give those meanie pants parts a run for their money. So I think I'll take this note with me when I visit Fluttershy. I'll tell her the story of Ponyacci, the greatest clown equestrian ever knew, and I think maybe she'll smile again.
That was Laugh, Laugh. It was written by PresentPerfect and adapted for audio by Scribbler, featuring the voice talent of Pinkie Rose as the voice of Pinkie Pie. Okay, thank you very much for listening. This fic came out slightly later than anticipated, although I seem to start most of my end blurbs with that recently. Either way, I want to heap praise upon 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 praise until the words stop meaning anything and I can't pronounce them anymore, upon Pinkie Rose, because she has what I consider to be one of the best Pinkie Pie voices in the VA community. I absolutely adore listening to her. I adored listening to her in Bride of Discord, I've adored listening to her in other people's fanfics, and finally she agreed to voice this for my channel, and I'm really happy to have her here. And this fic's a little bit special because, as you could probably tell from the end card that I put up, this was written specially for Robin Williams for when he died and to commemorate his death. It was the 15th place finisher in the August 2014 write-off called Famous Last Words, and it was considered the most controversial entry. It refers to one of the parts of the comic run featuring the character of Ponyacci, but I don't think you really need to have read that to understand this story, because PresentPerfect wrote it in such a way that it allows you to understand even if you don't, like me, collect the comics. Now, this week I was in a couple of different things that came out, but I'd like to direct your attention to an interview I did with Pony Tonight. Now, I'll link the video in the description below. Please go and click on it in the doobly-doo. It featured a range of different questions and things I was asked. The Pony Tonight crew were very, very lovely. We had a great laugh about different things, and yeah, it was fun. So please go along and listen to that. There are two versions of that interview out there. There are the uncut version, which has about 20 minutes of extra stuff at the start from before we started, and the 58-minute version, which was the interview itself, the official interview itself, although a bunch of stuff came out in that first 20 minutes, so you might want to go listen to that one instead. Additionally, this week, I also released a new episode of Oh Babble Scribbler, my podcast about MLP and the fandom and fanfictions and different things. Whatever takes our fancy, really, as long as it's got ponies in it. And this week, it also had a wolf in it, because Dr. Wolf was my special guest. And we talked about fanfic reading, which is why I feel able to mention this here. We talked about what goes into fanfic reading, the perils, the things we enjoy about it, our own experiences in the fandom, and also just where fanfic reading is in terms of fandom hierarchy. I won't say any more about it, but it was great fun to do, and if you'd like to listen to 30 minutes of me and Dr. Wolf rabbiting on about fanfic reading, then please, by all means, go ahead. I will link that in the description too. Now, I'm going to keep this short. I always say that, but I actually am going to keep this short today, because I am making a video currently that is going to go up in a little bit, and it's kind of a special video. So just look out for that one. And secondly, I would like to showcase some fan art that I received recently that I hadn't checked my DeviantArt messages and my mentions and things for a stupidly long time. And I went back to find that there was several bits of fan art waiting for me, and I felt incredibly churlish and rude for not having said thank you to these really generous artists when they gave me this stuff. So, as a sorry and a thank you and a wow, bloody hell, you people, wow, you like me, you really like me, I'm going to showcase it here at the end of this video. So, sit back, relax, and say a big well done to the people who, for some reason, took time out of their busy days, to draw my ponysona, and just, wow! Be lovely to each other, and good night, everybody. God, I sounded like something out of a poltergeist movie or a dying cat.